everybody, it's just a gun guy. Today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a different video. Not going to do a gun review video today. Today I feel like I want to teach you guys how to shoot, how to be a better shot. Some of you guys may know how to shoot, and that's awesome. You may be better than me. That's awesome, because there's always somebody better than somebody. I'm definitely not the best there is. I'll never be the greatest of all time. I feel like I'm a pretty average shooter. I feel like I can hit what I'm aiming at, and I feel like I really want to bring that to you guys. And maybe if I can give you some tips, maybe I can help you along the way as to something you're doing wrong. It could be something very simple. Maybe in this video you'll be able to see that. So the first thing I want to kind of go over is purchasing a handgun. So a lot of people will go into a gun store and they will, well, my buddy's got a Glock 19 or my buddy's got a 1911 and that's really what I want. Well, do you really want that? Do you want it for the look, or are you wanting it for a purpose? You got to decide what you want the gun for, because the gun may have features that are designed for one thing, but you're wanting it for another. So let's say, for instance, you want a gun that has night sights, but you also want a gun that you can hit from 100 yards with. Not saying that you can't hit with a gun with night sights at 100 yards, but it's very difficult. And the reason it's difficult is because you have 3 sights that are all tritium filled with night sight material that glows. They're all 3 the exact same. And something I'll go over here in a little bit, when you're shooting from distance, the most important thing that you could possibly have is a very, very good front sight. You want your front sight to stick out like a sore thumb. And I'm gonna go over that here in just a little bit as to why that's important. But when you're searching for a gun, you kind of have to go in with the mindset of, why do I need this gun? Why do I want this gun? I have a bunch of different guns. They all serve a different purpose. I have a gun on me right now that is 100% strictly my target, range, hit what I want, when I want, put bullets exactly where I want them. That's why I bought this gun. It is a CZ Shadow 2. This gun is unbelievably accurate. It is probably more accurate than I am. Absolutely beautiful gun. I'm not going to review this gun. I just want to give you guys a look at it. You're going to see the sights here in just a little bit, but that's why I bought this gun. I bought this gun because I wanted something that I could be extremely accurate with, and I paid for that. I paid a good amount of money just for an accurate gun. And you can't go to a gun store and buy a high point and expect it to perform with a $1,000 gun. You can't go to a gun store and buy like those SCCYs, I believe that's what they're called. They're a couple $100 gun. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that off. That's what you can afford. By all means, buy that gun and shoot it and get good with it. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of everything, is to be able to shoot and be more accurate. And that's another reason I wanted to do this. I had some friends over this past weekend, and my one buddy, who's a pretty good shot in his own right, you know, we went from distance, and you know, I was kind of coaching him on what to do, and he ended up hitting from 90 yards. Never done that before. Never. He could have hit from 100. He probably could hit from 110. Just the way he was shooting and the tips that I was giving him, you know what I mean? He was able to hit from a long distance. And I feel like that's something I want to do. I don't want to hold all this information to myself and I'm the only one that knows this and I'm going to hold it to myself so nobody else can do it. That's not how I am, and that's not how I want this channel. I want to be able to tell you guys everything I know, and in that way you can go out, you can watch this video, you can step outside or go to your local gun range, your indoor gun range, and you can take what I said, kind of bury it in your brain, and then use it, and hopefully it makes you a better shot. That's the whole point of this video. I just want everybody to be able to learn how to be a better shot. So, you go to the gun store, you figure out what gun you want, you buy it, get it home. First thing, when you're in the gun store, hold every gun that you can think of that you want that's in your price range. Put them in your hand. Grip is probably the second, maybe third most important thing in a handgun. If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel good in your hand, you're not going to shoot it good. You're just not. I had a gun in the past, supposed to be one of the most accurate guns on the planet. I did not like the way it felt in my hand. I still bought it, and I couldn't hit with it. I couldn't. It did not do what it said it could do, and that's not because of the gun. That's because of me, my grip style, the way that I like the gun to feel in my hand. It wasn't the gun, it was me. So hold the gun. Does it feel good? Now, second thing, when you're holding the gun, if they don't have a trigger lock on it, feel the trigger. What's the trigger feel like? If it's real gritty and mushy, and you'll know, you know what I mean? You'll squeeze the trigger and you'll know, man, that's really hard, or I don't like the way that feels, or if all those are little flags that should be going off in your head is, maybe this isn't the right gun. Maybe I shouldn't spend money that I've worked very hard for on something that I already kind of don't like and I'm not even put around through it. So you feel the grip, you feel the trigger, you bring it home, and you're having trouble shooting, and you can't figure out why. Great resource is YouTube. I'm self-taught. I taught myself. I was a horrible shot when I first started shooting pistols. Terrible shot. Couldn't hit hardly anything. Couldn't group a bullet. Anything like that. I got on YouTube. I got on forums. I got on Google. I mean, I was on everything. How do I get better? What am I doing wrong? What is going on? And it took me a couple thousand rounds of putting through teaching myself what I'm doing wrong until finally I got to a point where I'm good. I have a checklist in my head before I shoot as to what I got to do as far as holding the gun, as far as aiming the gun, and I'm going to go over every single detail of that with you guys in this video. I'm not going to shoot the gun because this is getting saved for review, and I got some really awesome stuff planned for this gun, so stay tuned from that. So you get to see the gun up close, but I want you to focus more on what I'm teaching you. So think about if you want to golf, or think about if you want to play basketball or baseball, or drive a manual car on a racetrack. There's a technique to every single one of those. Every single one of those. You hold a golf club, there's a certain way to hold a golf club. When you shoot a basketball, there's a certain way to shoot a basketball. There's a form. When you throw a baseball, as a pitcher, different pitch styles, curveballs, sinkers, that's all in the way you hold the ball and the way you throw the ball. It's the same thing with a gun. It's the exact same thing. There is a technique, there is a stance, there is a hold, there's just fundamentals. And if you get the fundamentals down, I promise you, you will be a better shooter. I promise you, you will. So I'm going to walk up, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how I hold the gun, okay? So first thing I do is I'm right-handed, okay? So I'm right-handed. I get this part of my thumb up as high as I can on this beaver tail. Most guns have something like this. It may not be as extended as this one is, but most guns have this. And what that is, that's for you to get your hand as high as you can. You want to get your hand as high as you can on a pistol, and you want to get it as close as you can, because you want it where this barrel is. You want to try and get your hand as close to where that barrel is as you possibly can. It's called the bore axis. If you get your hand up that high, it makes you more accurate. So you want both hands to be as high as you can on the gun. The gun is clear, in case anybody's wondering. It is not loaded. So hand high, right hand high. You want to get a good firm grip with these 3 fingers. You want to really squeeze the gun. Now right now I'm feeling pressure kind of on my knuckles on this side from the squeeze in. I'm also feeling pressure on the inside of my palm right here from where I'm squeezing this gun in, okay? You want your thumb, this thumb, that's why I like this gun, because it has this extended safety on it. I can put my thumb right on top of that, and that's where it's gonna rest the whole time I'm shooting, okay? So there's your grip with your right hand. Your finger, your trigger finger, always off the trigger. Big rule in gun safety, big rule in gun safety. Trigger off the finger, okay? Roll it back around, right hand's done. That's where it's gonna be. There is a little bit of a tweak in that, and I'm gonna show you that in just a second. Left hand, okay? Here's your left hand placement. Your left hand, you're gonna wrap it, and I'm gonna rotate around. You're gonna wrap it just like this. Okay, so it wraps around your other hand. You see that? 4 fingers wrapped around, okay? And your other thumb, you see how it looks like my thumbs were made for each other? You see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. You see how it just looks curved, just perfect to where my thumbs just lay? That's how you want your thumbs to be. And I lay my other thumb right up here on the gun, just like that. So both thumbs are pointing forward. You want your thumbs to point toward your target. Thumbs toward target. If you have one of your thumbs like this, I'm telling you, it's going to throw you off. It'll throw you off every time. I see people, you know, they hold a gun like this, you know, they hold it like this. That's okay. If you can shoot it like that and shoot accurately, just go ahead and keep doing it. Don't change your stance. This is how I do it to be more accurate. So, hand just like this. Now, my right hand is still squeezed. And if you notice, sometimes in my videos, you'll see me do this number where I'll go, and all I did was take the pressure off my fingers. I take the pressure off my fingers so I'm not squeezing the gun so hard. And the gun's still gripped very, very well in my hand. Very, very well. So, your next venture is trigger. Okay, and I'm going to try to keep the same grip. And I'm going to try to get you guys to see the trigger. Okay, and if you can't see it, I'll kind of move my hand down a little bit. Okay, so you're in the trigger. All right, so you want to squeeze. A lot of people, when they shoot, here's how they shoot. They get their finger up on the trigger and they just real quick. Okay, so I want you guys to watch the end of this gun when I shoot. Okay, watch the end of this gun when I squeeze that trigger like that. Okay, just watch it. You see it flinch? Watch it flinch. See it flinch? It flinched down. And that's because when you squeeze the trigger really fast like that, you're squeezing and you're pulling down. You're pulling down. So if you're shooting low and left, 100% of the time, 100% of the time is your trigger finger. 100%. I had a huge deal with that when I first started. I jerked that trigger like crazy, and I had to figure out how to squeeze the trigger. So what do I mean by squeeze? Let me show you. You got your pad of your finger right here, and if you think about in the pad of your finger, your fingerprint, there's a bullseye in your fingerprint. Okay, so you look at your fingerprint, you see the little bullseye, you see the center of your fingerprint. That is the part that you want to touch the center of that trigger. That's what you want. You want the center of the trigger to be on that bullseye, okay? And then squeeze. So you're just gonna sit and you're just gonna squeeze. You can see my finger. It's just squeeze. I'm squeezing right now. I'm just barely putting any pressure. Barely putting any pressure. Barely putting any pressure. I'm still putting on pressure this whole time. I'm doing it very slow. There it went. And there it goes. It goes off. So I'll do it again so you can see. Okay? Barely any pressure. Barely. I mean, I'm squeezing. I'm squeezing. I'm squeezing. So all that goes into a shot. All that. That is the stance of your golf swing in a way. That is the form of your basketball free throw. That is the way you hold a baseball with a gun. That is exactly how you do it. So go over it one more time real quick. Hand placement high, right hand placement high on the back of the gun. 3 fingers wrap around the bottom of the trigger. Other hand wraps around, okay? Your thumbs point forward, and the middle of your trigger finger is on the trigger, the middle. Don't do too much this way. Don't do too less this way. That'll pull the gun one way or the other to the left or right. You want dead center, and you just want to squeeze the entire time. Just squeeze. So when I train people, when I've helped people out in the past, front sight is extremely important. And I'm going to go over that in just a second, but I always tell them, and the ones that watch the video will know, I always say, just squeeze, just squeeze, just squeeze. Because if you jerk the trigger, you'll miss every single time. So now I want to talk about the front sight. This is going to be very, very difficult to try and show you guys. I got a couple stickers put up on some cardboard over there, and I want to kind of try my best to show you guys what I'm talking about by front sight. So I'm going to walk over there, and you walk over here with me, and we're going to try and figure out if I can show you guys exactly what I mean by front sight. So I got my 3 orange stickers here. I'm going to come close. I'm not going to shoot. So I got 3 orange stickers here, and this is going to sound really corny, but one of my all-time favorite movies is a movie called The Patriot. And in that movie, he says something, and I say it every time I shoot. Every time I shoot, I say the same. It's aim small, miss small. Think about that. Aim small, miss small. The reason that when I shoot, when I do my reviews, I use this 1-inch sticker is for that exact reason. Aim small, miss small. If I shoot at this big sticker, I have 3 inches of space to hit. I can hit that. I know I can. 3 inches. I don't want a 3-inch group. I want a 1/2-inch group. I want a 1/4-inch group. So I don't shoot the 2-inch sticker because it's not small enough. Get the orange sticker out, that's still not good enough for me. When I'm aiming, I'm not aiming at this orange sticker. That black diamond that's right there, that's what my front sight is pointed at every single time. Every time. Aim small, miss small. If you've got a huge target, think about it, you got this huge target. You know you can hit it, but you want to hit something accurately. You want to do something cool. You want to be able to grip your bullets really well. Think of if a fly lands and hits right there on that target. Okay, now you got a fly, something very small. Aim at it. Aim small, miss small. Remember that. Aim small, miss small. Get that in your brain, because if you aim for something super small, you're going to miss something super small, and your groups are going to be tight. They're going to be small and very, very tight. Now, I'm going to step back a little bit, and I want to try and do this, and I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. So, you step up, you're looking at, we're just going to go after the big orange one, because that's probably the easiest one to see for everybody. So you got the big orange target, you got the black diamond that's in the middle of that. That's what we want to aim at, that's what we want to shoot at. Okay, so first thing you do is laser focus at that black diamond. That's what you do. I mean, I'm honed in, I'm on it. That's where I'm at. The whole time I'm talking right now, I am dead staring a hole through that black diamond, okay? Then you grab your gun, you come up with the grip I just showed, and you point, and you put that front sight right on that black diamond. And then when you put that sight on that black diamond, you stare at this front sight. So you stare at the front sight, and what that does is when you stare at the front sight, your black diamond goes blurry, okay? So the target you're aiming at and you just pointed at goes blurry, but that's okay, because you just put your front sight exactly where you want to aim, okay? So that goes blurry, front sight focuses in, now you're laser focused on your front sight, and even your rear sight will be somewhat blurry, because you are 100%, you're on this, you're not on all 3. And I think that's a mistake that some people make, is that, and that's why I like this gun especially, is because there's no rear dots, there's nothing. There's nothing. It is a blacked out rear sight with a red fiber optic in the front. So the red fiber optic in the front with the blacked out rear, the only thing I can see is the red fiber optic. There's nothing else to see. But when you start talking about getting into night sights and like 3-dot sights, stuff like that, everything's the same. So you got 2 white dots and you got a white dot here, or 2 night sights and a night sight up here. It's really hard to start focusing in on your front sight. You got to train your eyes, because they're the same as this, and they're the same as this. It makes it really, 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 really hard when you get from a long distance to be able to shoot it. So I want the camera to come over here, and I'm going to try my best. We're going to try and work the camera a little bit to focus. And what I want it to do is I want to try and get the best picture of that front sight. And you should notice that what the gun is aiming at, which should be that cardboard, is kind of blurry. And you should only see really the front sight. That's what you want to see. And it's going to be really hard to see, and that's why I said it's going to be hard to see with the camera. Really, really hard. It's really hard to explain, but focus on front sight. Rear sight should be somewhat blurry. Target should be blurry, but that doesn't matter because that's exactly where your gun is pointing. All right, guys. So we cut out because we were trying to get this to do this the best we could, and we figured out this is the best way to do it. So as you can see, it's really hard to keep steady because I don't have both hands on the gun, but you want to get focused on that front sight. See how the black is reared out? Front sight is focused, and then you're pointing at your target. That's what you want, okay? Sorry about cutting out there, but we definitely wanted to try and get that shot because you don't realize how important that is to have that sight picture. That is extremely important when you're going from distance. So speaking of going from distance, a lot of people don't shoot with a handgun past 25 yards. 25 yards is probably the max most people shoot with a handgun, just your average everyday person, and that's technically that's really all you need is 25 yards, because a pistol is a defensive weapon. It's a defensive handgun. This is not, but that's what a pistol, 25 yards or less, that's what it's going to be used for. Okay, so long distance, very, very important for front sight. Another thing that is basically I have just recently found out shooting from distance is that a lot of people think that once you get past 25, 30, 35 yards that you have to start aiming high, because all of a sudden after you get past 30 yards the bullet just starts going like this. It's not the case. Like a 9mm bullet is moving 1,000 feet per second. So 1,000 feet per second over a course of 30 yards is not going to make that bullet start dropping 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. It's just not. It's not. It took me a long time to figure that one out too, and I just recently figured it out doing these videos shooting from distance. My one friend that was out here and shooting, I had him start, he started at 20 because he had hit from 10 before, so started at 20, went to 30, went to 40, and he got to 50, he kept missing. And I said, well, what are you aiming at? He said, I'm aiming high. Don't aim high. Put that front sight in the dead center of that steel target and squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger. So most front sight, squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger, hit from 50. Step back to 60. Put the front sight on, squeeze the trigger, hit from 60. Hit from 70. Hit from 80. Hit from 90. Ran out of ammo. No doubt in my mind he could have hit from 100, 110, 120. No doubt that he could have started hitting from this. Now, when you start getting out into the 100-yard range, I'm going to say probably in the 100-yard range, you're going to get into the bullet drop. That bullet's going to start dropping. You're going to start compensating by holding a little bit higher on your target. I don't really have anything else that I can think of off the top of my head to go over with you guys with shooting, as far as that's my technique. That's what I use every time I get up. So I'll walk you through. I'll do a full-on walkthrough of me shooting a gun. This is what I do, okay? So I step up. Okay, I'm gonna hit that black diamond in that big orange thing. That's what I'm aiming at, all right? So I got my grip with my right hand, okay? Left hand comes up, okay? Push forward with your arms, okay? Front sight is now on that black diamond, okay? And it's just a constant squeeze, 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 and the gun went off. And I guarantee you I'd have just hit that black diamond. It's just fundamentals. If you work on the fundamentals of shooting, if you want to be a good golfer, you got to work on your golf swing. If you want to be a great basketball player, you got to work on free throws. If you want to be a great pitcher, you got to pitch the ball. You got to know how to pitch the ball. It's the same thing with shooting a gun. You got to put the time, you got to put the effort, you got to do what you got to do and get better every single time you step on the range. I am always looking to get better, always. I hope that this video has helped maybe something that you're struggling with shooting. That's what I wanted to do with this video, is to help everybody. I want everybody to be, this sounds cocky, but I don't mean it. I want everybody to be on my level. I want everybody to be better than me. I want people to be better than I am. Because if people are better than me and I know they're better than me, I want to be as good as them. So that's what I strive for. I always want to be better than I was and as good as somebody else. I hope you liked the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit different, but I kind of wanted to mix things up, do something different. I didn't want to do the same old video with a different gun review. I am still going to do gun reviews, just not today. Just felt like this was really something I wanted to do, try and help out everybody that views the videos. Hope you like what's been going on so far with the videos. Like the page, subscribe. More subscribers we get, better stuff we'll do. Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless you, and God bless America.